tower is about to take an absolute walloping.
He lives, but in what state of life is he in, unfortunately? Yeah, look, you can't back because the tower's just going to cop so much punishment. You can't fight because you're just going to die and lose the 1v1. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Honestly, I think, if I was Rest, I'd just get it over and done with. Like, you're just drawing out the inevitable at this point.
He's up Ignite for this next fight.
He hasn't got an ultimate. Cool, he's got Ignite, but, yeah. Well, look, he might have it up first, but he's still down a level. He's still down
If he comes to lane and somehow finds a way to immediately trade in a minion wave, hits level 6 with Ignite, there's actually an angle where maybe he can find a killback. And if that killback does happen, then he's all of a sudden back in this game.
But Artemis is up as a rated dirt.
He is up as rated. I still think the ultimate as well as Ignite can sway that team fight.
Well, technically it's a team fight.
True, the entire team is fighting.
Yeah. I mean, he's down level. Yeah, look, it's a very... I think, honestly, unless the tower's involved, I don't see Rest winning this. I think this is just going to be slow burn Artemis. Artemis is going to say, look, I'm just going to do it. Fight, Rest is going to go down.
So Rest, I've just worked out, has bound his laugh to W. So every time he Ws, he laughs. Possibly the reason he lost. It does appear to me, I don't even know what skins these are. I don't play Darius.
Isn't that like the Academy? Is that Academy? I don't know.
I don't know, but all I know is Dunk Master would have done more damage.
Oh, absolutely. It's just one of those unwritten rules. Yeah, look. I don't know. For some reason, Rest's one looks like he's working barefoot, but I think that's just because the angle that we're on the TV. He's not. He's wearing scuffs from looks of it. Too cool for school. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why Rest just doesn't force the issue. He's got everything up. At this moment, he is... unfortunately, he's given away that lead. Other than having a serrated Dirk up on the one long sword that Rest has.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. If you're able to get to one item and the other person's on a component and sudden death, maybe Rest can find an angle. You know, crazier things have happened. Rest now, as well as Artemis, they are fighting, but that's it. Barrier is still available. He doesn't have to die here, but this is not the position in which Rest would want to be in. He lost both his summoners. Artemis is still full HP.
Yeah. Again, honestly, I think it might have been better. Yes, look, fight till the bitter end, but at this stage, it's kind of, the writing is on the wall. The great hand, you know, the hand hath written.
I think the tower might just go down.
Yeah. I think you just get it over and done with, go into the match and play it out there.
I mean, yeah, he's going to have to. This tower's dead, so Artemis will be winning. That means Garm will be able to secure themselves side selection, and it's going to be maybe meaningful. It'll be interesting to see.
Explosive start. Kind of a boring finish, honestly. Yeah, just petered out there. I think Artemis could have committed. He's yeah, look, okay, whatever, we've got it done. I think Rest probably could have saved himself a bit of mental if he'd just gone back and died and then let it happen, because it was clear. Artemis just played it very well.
He might not have to. Driver might just be playing. Yeah, we obviously will not know until we see who's coming out onto the stage. I will say that Rest is not packing up his... Oh, Driver's actually coaching him. Yeah, Driver's giving him some coaching.
You meant to hook the Darius, not the minions, yeah. Oh, look, I think a good team will say, look, this is 1v1. It isn't the game. We've got a 5v5 to play, a best of 3 to play. There's more League of Legends than just the 1v1.
Yeah, sure.
A bad team would definitely start, you know, piling in on them, but you can't be doing that. So the competition, everything should be about uplifting the team to make sure you have the best chance at victory as a whole. So yeah, look, have a bit of fun, try and get the spirits up, look towards the actual game itself. You've given overside selection, but that is not the end of it. We've seen, yeah, okay, so Garm has opted into blue side. We've actually seen every single play day pretty much. So.
Yeah, no surprise. I think at this time, at this point, we can probably just assume you win the 1v1, you're taking blue. Doesn't seem to matter. You know, SoftBank, they had their side selection, lost on blue both times. I'm not putting too much weight in the side selection. I think it just comes down to who is the better team. The Fearless Draft puts too many spanners in the works of this draft phase. I think ultimately, obviously game 1 isn't affected at all, but I just don't think the meta is entirely worked out as how to do this draft, because it doesn't feel like there's any one champion that is identified as, okay, if we're forcing these bans, we get this champion, and that makes the draft so much easier for us.
Yeah, well, we've gone from a meta of you have these champions that you play, you only have the 10 bans to worry about. Now we've got, you know, first, second, and third string, you know, comps that you're picking up. So it's now about prioritizing, do we play that third string pick first, get it out of the way, hopefully we pick up a win there, and then rely on that big pick later on down the line if we can still get it. So yeah, look, I think it honestly simplifies things a little bit while also making it complicates the prep, but in the actual game phase, I think it simplifies things.
Yeah, and I do believe we're going to have Rest playing because he didn't pack up his keyboard and mouse to take off stage and drive it and obviously bring his on. Unless Rest was just playing on driver setup, in which case you're like, okay.
Mind games. It's all psychological. A great Australian, you know, esports competitor did say at one point it is 95% mental at the end of the day, and I do stand by that. It is psychological at the end of the day. If you can psych your opponent out before you even get onto the rift, it can definitely make the game a whole lot easier. But yeah, you want to be in the right mindset coming into this. So hopefully, you know, your coach is sitting there behind the scenes saying, look, you lost the 1v1. We've got a game to play. Get out there, get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. All the players are now filing onto the stage. It was Rest, of course, coming here and playing top lane. It'll be his second appearance here in the LCP. I'm sure. I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with his first performance, honestly. He was on that full tank Jax, and he was kind of the force that kept him in it. Eventually, they did win the series with Driver, but still, I think he's a very, very capable player. I'm most interested in this game, and I've talked about it already, the dynamic between Ginger and Levi. I think that is going to tell a massive story of this game. If you throw your mind back to last week, where we did see Ginger last on the Zyra in particular, he completely just 1v9'd. Yes, he wasn't the guy that got all the kills, but he pathed bot to top as Zyra. He cleared his entire jungle in about, I think it was 3 minutes and 2 minutes and 53 seconds or something like that. Got his jungle done, went into the opposing team's jungle, got 2 kills for his team, and then just did that on repeat. Every time he ended up topside, found kills more for his team, and kind of just dominated.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's about consistency at the end of the day. CFO's consistently proved one of the top teams. GAM hasn't had that same level of consistency. They've sort of been battered around. They've had some success, but they've also fallen short a couple of times. And, I mean, if you were to lock in at any point in the tournament for a team like GAM, I think it's right here against CFO. I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be a victory against CFO. If you can take CFO to a 2-1, it proves that you are capable of contesting top 4 going into that playoff stage.
Yeah, absolutely. We're cut out for them, of course. Just so many big names. Ginger, of course, we've talked about, but Rest is a phenomenal player up in that top side at the worst of times. You know, it's just a very, very solid player. Doggo, for my money, has been sort of that weak link. Not to discredit him, he is a rookie. Big shoes to fill, being that, you know, last year it was Gory in that mid lane, a storied player in his own right. And it's easy to look like the weak link when your entire team is arguably best in position or second best in position, you know, and you're the rookie. Don't really fault him for that.
I do have to say, I did say it earlier, I really rate Honkyu in his approach to the start of the tournament. Giving over first blood to Atakan, no other player can now claim that against you. You've had your first death. Honestly, it's one of those, it's almost like a trial by fire. You go in, you die to an NPC on the rift, and it's like, well, realistically, I can't do much worse than that, and they still manage to pull out the victory. So everything from that point on is up.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
it's about looking at the positives.
That's right. As I hear Champion Select music, seeming like we're getting there. There's Chowie. I like that guy. There we are. Ash Yone taken away. Honkyu has been favoring that Yono so far in the tournament, and it's going to be the Kasante as well as the Rumble taken away from Kaya.
50% pick rate for the Yone there for Honkyu. Not going to be this time round. So he's had a couple other picks in the pocket, so maybe we see that we're going to have to see the deviation away from that. What seems to be his safety pick at the moment. Rumble Kasante taken out. Kasante picked once by Driver. Again, we haven't really seen the depth of Rest's champion pool in this competition at the moment. Jay's taken out. That means we're seeing some big staples target out the top lane by CFO.
Kalista going to be immediately locked in. The natural progression here to me would be Doggo picking the Varus. Taking Varus Renata actually strikes me as something that you could just do immediately. Renata doesn't feel particularly threatened by many of the engaged supports, is something you don't really want to give to the Kalista, and pairs well with the Varus.
not to mention Hostile Takeover is just an insane ultimate.
Yeah.
We've seen it is the most frustrating thing as a support player to see that hit one of your big beefy hard hitters. Corki coming in, could be Honkyu, yeah, it could be Doggo, so there is that flex option, gives a little bit more mystery, you know, trying to play that mental game once again. And I mean, Junjie, Sejuani's available, Zyra's available, he's played Xin Zhao, Wukong as well, so he's got options.
Yeah, you can just look to, okay, well, yeah, all right, Levi's got his work cut out for him. Levi probably could just look to pick himself up a jungler here. They could just take the Renata, as I said before. Although, when you do see this Zyra, I said it in our last series, you know, it was Brand that time, but same concept is looking for something similar to the Leona in the support role could be very good, but it seems like we will almost certainly be having Nico as our support. And Nocturne, we forgot. Managed to sliver his way, maybe paranoid into the draft.
Yeah, pretty high ban rate out on that champion as well. Yeah, second most banned behind Skarner, of course, and that is a big scary gap close. That I think the one benefit, you've got great, you know, control coming out of the Zyra, so as soon as that Nocturne jumps in, you can be heavily punished. That spell shield's only going to block the one. You then have the route to follow it up. And Bessa coming out in the top lane for rest.
Yeah, very good champion. Don't know what it's into. Can just take away 2 more top laners here to give it an even easier time. I wanted to ask you really quickly, was it Levi, because on the top of my head it was it Levi that played Skarner the last time? Obviously not the game we just saw, but...
Yes, no, he was the other Skarner pick. So Kindred, Zyra, Xin Zhao, and Skarner for Levi.
So I think that is a problem, that you are now on blue side and feeling like you have to ban Skarner. I think that is a big problem. You've tried to play it once, obviously it wasn't successful, and now you're banning it on blue side. Makes me wonder why you'd select the blue side, because generally the power you get in blue side is you're forcing the other team to ban the OPs. This time with the Ashe, with the Skarner, it felt like you did that.
I don't know, Jack's banned out as well. Been interesting. I mean, in terms of top lane, I mean, there's still plenty up and available, but they obviously want to limit Kaya. Enable rest as best as possible. Leona shut down in the bot lane as well, so not coming out for Kai Wing. I mean, there's still potential for a mid or an ADC pick and that support to come out because Corki still could flex.
Yeah, and Raul will be that final ban here for the side of Garm, so another engaged support taken away. Of course, you do want to pick one alongside your Zyra, Rakan, Alistair. I mean, there's just still options, right? Is the point I'm getting to. Won't really enjoy laning against the Kalista Nico, so certainly it will be CFO looking to lane swap, trying to get their bot lane out of harm's way, because it doesn't strike me as really a lane. And
yeah, okay.
Even with the Israel, you're not really wanting to lane against the Kalista Nico.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be possibly Brom Israel coming in. Brom can do a lot to deal with a lot of that range threat coming out, as well as the Nocturne is going to punish that quite heavily. Anyone that goes for that heavy engage. I mean, there's arguments that could be made for other supports, but I think the likelihood is going to be that it is the Brom Poppy coming out. So this is not going to be a support Nico, I don't think.
Could be mid. It also could just be top Poppy.
Yeah.
Top Poppy does well into Ambessa simply because you stop her from being able to use the dashes on her ability. She can still use the ability. She doesn't have to dash when she presses her buttons. But of course you lose a lot of power.
You have to dash. Come on, like it's there for a reason, right?
Yeah. But it also is a takeaway, being that they do have the Kalista. You don't really want to be the Kalista into a Poppy, and if their plan was always to pick up the Aurora here, then it also, you know, shuts down what she wants to do. We saw it yesterday. Woody doing a really good job of that. So it can be a top Poppy. It could. The other way to do it would be like mid Nico, top Aurora, which I don't think it will be.
I think it's a bit too limiting. Yeah, Nautilus. I did think maybe potentially could be that they want Brom, but like, I think Brom would have done quite well with, especially with an AD carry mid lane as well. I think the synergy is just